Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavitvaram. Today we will discuss on verse number 57. But it's a new concept. Someone who has come or joined today itself, don't feel, oh my God, 57th sloka. Don't worry. It is just a name. Every class is a new class. So, in that manner, we try to learn. Because if we ask anyone else what was there in 56th or 55th, it's very difficult. I know that. So, each and every class gets some new concept. Okay, so don't worry. Atadvyavrittirupeణ वेदान्तैर्लक्ष्यते द्वयम् अखण्डानन्दमेकं यत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत्. Together. अतद्व्यावृत्तिरूपेण वेदान्तैर्लक्ष्यते द्वयम् अखण्डानन्दमेकं यत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत्. Atadvyavrittirupena. By the process of negation of what it is not. Vedantaihi. By Vedanta. Like Ramaihi, Naraihi. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramam, Raman. Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi. Tritiya, Bahuvachan. Third case or instrumental case, plural. Through something else. If we want to mean, we use that. Lakshyate, indicated. Advayam, non-dual. Akhandanandam, indivisible and blissful. Akhanda and Anandam, indivisible and blissful. Ekam, one. Yat, which. Tat, Brahman, that Brahman. Iti, thus. Avadharayet, realize. So realize that to be Brahman, which is non-dual, indivisible, one, and blissful, and which is indicated in Vedanta as the immutable substratum realized after the negation of all tangible objects. So, if we come to the prose order, what is the prose order of this sloka? And we will learn today Atadvyavritti also. So, prose order is Yat Akhandanandam Ekam Advayam Vastu Vedantaihi Atadvyavritti Rupena Lakshyate Tat Brahma iti avadharayet. Once again I am telling, Yat akhandanandam, that akhanda, indivisible one, ekam advayam means blissful, and sajatiya, vijatiya, and swagata bheda sunya. Vastu, so what is in English? Sajatiya means same species. Vijatiya means different species. Swagata means within the species there are different sorts of parts. Sajatiya Bheda means I am a human being, you are a human being, your neighbor is a human being, all the human beings. But this body, its nature and everything is different from Mr. X, Mr. Y, Miss A, Miss B. Okay. So this is called Sajatiya Bhedas, the difference within the same species. Vijatiya Veda is clear that I am not the tree, I am not the cow, I am not the dog, etc. And Swagata Bheda, what is that? Now, within this body, the eyes are not nose, the nose are not ears, ears are not mouth, mouth are not hands. This is called Swagata Bheda. Atma is devoid of all sorts of differences. And to indicate that, Vedantaihi atadvyavritti rupena lakshyate. Vedanta has tried to indicate Brahman because it's not possible to tell what is Brahman because it is avang manasa gocharam. Avang manaso gocharam. It's beyond mind and speech. So how Vedanta Shruti Mata has tried to indicate by negating neti, 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 neti. Not that, not that, not that. It is not Brahman, it is not Brahman, it is not Brahman. And also, this is called Nishedmukh. And when it says some Lakshana attributes of Brahman, this is called Vidhimukha. Clear? Please write it down. So, two things. One is Vidhimukha, where this is Akhanda, Advayam, Ananda Swarupam, Sat Swarupam, Chit Swarupam. Shruti Mata says this is called Vidhi Mukha. But when that same Shruti says Neti, 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 means Nishedha Mukha, the process of negation. So after that, when we realize that only Brahman is everything, so we understood that Akhanda Anandam Ekam Advayam, what does it means? What does it mean? Means Sajatiya Vijatiya Swagata Bheda Shunya. Then Advayam Vastu means Desha Kala Vastu Krita Paricheda Shunya. What is mean? What does it mean? Means Brahman is not limited by the space, time, and object. Nirupadhika, it's without any attributes, any conditionings. It is Sukha Swarupa. It is the very nature of bliss. And Vedantaihi, in Vedanta, why by Vedanta it has been told. How in, suppose in Nishedmukha, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 2.3.6, it is there. Athato athata adeshaha neti neti athato adeshaha neti neti. So, in that mantra, Brihadaranya Upanishad has tried to indicate the Satyasya Satyam, or what it is, the truth of the all apparent truths, the actual truth of the all apparent truths. So, neti neti, not this, not this. This is the identity card of Brahman. You know, we have some identity card. Or suppose it is the passport. In passport, my name, my father's name, address, my blood group, everything is there. So neti neti is like the identity card of Brahman. But why twice it has been told? First neti means na, first na means whatever you are seeing, whatever you are perceiving, grasping, it is different from Brahman. This is the meaning of first neti. Second neti's meaning is there is nothing apart from Brahman. Clear? Two neti neti is there. Neti neti. First neti neti's meaning is whatever you are seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, tasting, perceiving through mind, feeling, you know, in meditation we feel, oh, what a beautiful color, white, then orange. Yes, it comes. Who sits for the meditation? And we think that that is Brahman because we say Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. We say Jyotira Jyoti. Brahman is the light of the lights. And we think it is physical light or perceivable light. So, in meditation, we start imagining some lights. Someone sees some stars are moving. Swamiji, I have seen Brahman. It is white. It's the fountain of white. I can tell yes to praise you or something. But Upanishad is telling Neti, nothing. Everything, whatever you thinking, it's not Brahman. And then it is telling Neti, means there is nothing apart from Brahman. Clear? In Brihadaranya Upanishad, in another place, 4.4.19, it is told, Neha Nanasti Kinchana. In this Brahman, there is not a bit of nanatva, manyness. Na iha nana asti kinchana. Na iha nana asti kinchana. In Brahman, there is not a bit, little bit of manyness. How it is? Asthulam. Brahman is in Brihadaranya Upanishad 3.8.8. Asthulam anharaswam adhirgham. So, Brahman is all pervading. So, when I start thinking about that Brahman may be big like me, fat like me, but Upanishad is negative. It is telling asthulam. Then, uh, anrasvam or anasram, adirgham. So I started thinking, Brahman, I am short height. Brahman may be like that, like compact, short, fat. Upanishad is negating everything else. So in that way, Upanishad negated all the upadhis. So what it is? Atad vyavritti rupena lakshyate. So Brahman is atad. So what is atat? Na tat. Atat. Not that. Neti neti is another form. Not that. Atat. So Brahman is natat, is atat. So tat shabda means the cause of vidya and avidya. The cause of vidya and avidya. And vyavritti means negation. I will come. I will come just now. Why I am telling vidya and avidya. Avidya is, you know what about with the ignorance. And tat means apparent knowledge. Means suppose Veda, Upanishad, we say that Vedam Satyam. Veda, only the real thing, everything is unreal. But in Veda itself negates Veda. That is called Vidya Karyam. The truth is told in Veda. that Veda itself has been negated in Veda. So that Tat means the source of Vidya and Avidya. Vidya means here not, you know, apparent Vidya. Everything is Avidya, inclusive Veda. Tat Shabda means Avidya and Avidya Karya. The cause of ignorance means Upadhi, the conditions. And we have to do it Vyavritti, Parityaga, negation. Means Jahat, Ajahat, Lakshan. Through that, we have studied what is Jahat, Ajahat, Lakshana, or it is called Bhagatyaga Lakshana. In Drig Drishya Viveka, it is there. Like in Tattvamasi, Mahavakya, in great statement, we have to know what portion we have to take, what meaning we have to add. This is called Bhagatyaga Lakshana or Jahat Ajahat Lakshana. So, in Mahimna, Shiva Mahimna Stotra, Madhusudan Saraswati has used this word to indicate Nirgun Brahma, Atadvyavritta. He has indicated. And Swaguna Paksha, he has written Na tad vyavrittihi atad vyavrittihi tasya rupena atad vyavritti. अर्थात उनका tahar of that attributes vyavritti is there, means whatever we are thinking, negating everything else what remains. Suppose there is an apple. Think. So apple has a shape, has a color, has some weight, has some taste, has some feelings. Now you start negating. You start negating the shape, color, taste, weight, everything. Now what remains? You will tell nothing. No, no, no. Something is remain. What you can't say. That is Brahman. That is existence. That is Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Tad Jalan iti Shanta Upasita in Chandogya Upanishad 3.1.4. Everything has come out from Brahman, rested in Brahman, alive by Brahman. All the universe is nothing but Brahman alone. In Chandogya Upanishad 3.14.2, it is there. Sarva karma, sarva kamaha. The whole universe is Brahman's effect or karma or creation. All the desire is his desire or its desire. So that is the Brahman, Brahma Swarupa. So, atadvyavritti rupena means nishedh mukha, what we can't say or indicate anything else through a lot of words. That thing Upanishad has told by Nishedh Mukha. To know Brahman is everything, Tad Brahman iti avadharayet. Clear? Now, in this verse, reference is made to the process of negation, atadvyavritti, which was explained earlier. None or nobody can directly reach the all pervading Brahman because it is not an object of cognition, but the subjective reality that is ever illumining all our thoughts and actions, being one without a second. It is not different from any similar or dissimilar objects. This indivisible and immutable self is not an impotent factor, but a positive state of infinite bliss. The Upanishads indicate that this self is reached by a process of negation of what it is not, an assertion of what it is, the very substratum for all the existence. Are not our minds limited? Are not our thoughts ever unsteady due to impurities? Are not the objects of cognition ever changing and of a perishable nature? What is it that is changeless in all this, welter or change? What is the one life force on account of which there is the manifestation of matter? Who illumines the inner matter or inert matter? Who injects matter with the vigor and vitality of life? What is that exists behind the entire pluralistic existence, which is the homogeneous and the all permeating spirit in all objects? What keeps all things in one loving embrace, like the string in a garland of pearls? That is the substratum, the basis of our own self, which cannot be objectively perceived, but can be subjectively experienced as the pure consciousness called Atma. So, if we start doing deep meditation, if we start doing deep meditation, what we will see that I am Chaitanya Swarupa. I am consciousness alone. But if we can't think of it, first we have to see that I am Sakshi Swarupa. I am the witness. So this is a technique. First is Vivichya, Then is pravilapya. First, you have to separate everything else from Brahman. Then you have to dissolve everything else. It's a method. This is called Vivichya and Pravilapya. Vivichya and Pravilapya. This is a technique of meditation. First is I am the witness of everything. Means separate yourself from each and everything. Not only from the external object, but from this body. Not only from this body, but from this thought process. My all feelings, sad, anxiety, sadness, anxiety, doubts, everything else. You have to separate. That Sakshi is different from Sakshya. Witness is different from witnessed. But who will separate whom? Who will separate from what? Suppose I am thinking, I am meditating, and I am the witness of my thought. But where it is, where the witness is there, in the very place witnessed is there. Where there is Sakshi, there is Sakshya. So that is the power of my spiritual knowledge. First, paying attention to the Sakshi. How it is possible in real life. We have to reduce the objects in my life. One day, please, it's my request. Start managing your room. Now, I'm not telling your big house, one room. If it is not possible, just try with a corner of the room and see how many things you get what you have never used, what you have not used in last many years, yet it is there. But if anyone comes and tell, throw it off. No, 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 no. You don't know the value of that. We have a lot of values for the object. Whether we use it or not, we have some attachment with them. And wherever you are attached, the things have taken away, taken out my mind. It has a share in my mind. So first you have to reduce the objects from your life. Then you have to reduce the importance of the object. Then my attention will go. Then my mind will be calm and available to think, to turn that mind towards the witness. Once I recognize that I am Atma, and Madatma Sarva Bhutatma, my Atma is all pervasive, Atma of all, Antaryami of all, then all Bheda will go. When I will say Sarva Bhutatma, means Sajatiya Bheda will go. Atma is Brahman, means there is no different Sakshi, no other cause of creation also, means Bijatiya Bheda will go. Then we have to negate the concept of Sakshi, concept of witness also. Because that concept of witness also temporary. That is also tatastha lakshana we discussed. That there is a house, there one crow is perched, and we indicate that house you go where the crow is seated. Crow will not sit forever. That is tatastha, temporary. But it is very important to indicate that house. Likewise, that the concept of witness, I am the witness of my all thoughts. And at last, we have to negate the concept of witness also. There remains only Atma. Unless and until we become calm, we can't see it. Because thought comes and go, comes and go. We see them. The first step is vivicya. Atma and anatma, separate. What is Atma, what is not Atma. Second step is pravilapya, dissolve. And at last start dissolving, and at last dissolve your witnesshood also. At the same time, Sravanam is needed. Every day listening to Vedanta. Atma is Brahman. Only Shruti says. So you have to listen to Shruti, Upanishad, Vedanta every day. But dispassion, Vairagya is needed in throughout everything else. That is not there in this sloka. But whenever it is trying to separate the objects, means you need dispassion. Ishvara pranidhana is needed. Without God's grace, we can't see defects in the object. Without the grace of God, we can't get rid of any sorts of unnecessary emotional attachment. Some necessary emotional attachment is needed in spiritual life also. But if we start thinking that I have a lot of unjustified emotional attachment with some person, with some object, with some thoughts, that must go, at least at the beginning of sadhana. And with the Guru's grace, with the God's grace only it is possible. Other than not. Hari Om Tat Sat.